Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your bonus September reading. We are going to do what we did last time, actually. We're going to look at the main astrological events that you could be dealing with in the month of September. The first thing we're going to look at is how this Mercury retrograde is going to affect you, and that will be on September 9th. Next, we're going to look at the full moon in Pisces, and that will be on September 10th, just one day later. This full moon in Pisces has actually been kind of pretty positive for most people. And here you go, Pisces right here. And this is a very Piscean card as well, the Seven of Cups. Next, we're going to look at just all the Libra energy that we're dealing with. We're entering into Libra season on the 22nd. The sun moves into Libra. We also have Venus going into Libra on the 29th. On top of that, we have a new moon in Libra on the 25th. On top of all that, this day is the fall equinox as well on the 22nd. So some major energies going on around that time. And then in this last row, we're going to look at the new moon in Libra on the 25th. So that's what we're going to cover in this reading. And it looks pretty good. I've actually, honestly, I've been pleasantly surprised by these readings. Intuitively, I was kind of feeling like meh about September, and it actually looks kind of surprisingly good, and I really, I see that for you as well. It looks nice. You start off with this in the area of the Mercury retrograde again on September 9th. You have this new moon in Pisces. It says meditate and contemplate. That makes perfect sense. I mean, retrogrades are amazing times to kind of just revisit old ideas, to meditate, to contemplate, to kind of go back over things and see where you can make improvements, or to see where maybe something needs a little bit more work. And what I would say is interesting about your reading is I would say this is one of those readings that's about the in-between energy. You end with this tiger spirit. The tiger spirit is kind of about working at night. And, it has to do with the fact that tigers hunt at night. Although I don't know how accurate that fact is, but in that book for that deck, it's all about kind of hunting at night. But what I feel like it's saying to you is it's saying like all the benefits for the things that you're doing are maybe in the darkness, not in a bad way, but it's like sometimes maybe we need to read between the lines in business or work or in a relationship. There could be some kind of benefit in what is not seen or something that hasn't been fully developed. Your next card, it has to do a lot with development and something that needs more development time. I'm pretty sure that I've said this to you before, Taurus, so it just seems to be an energy that you're dealing with. And again, I feel like meditating, of course, will be very beneficial for you. In this row, you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Two of Cups. It is crazy to me that the Ace of Pentacles has come up so much. I'm pretty sure just in the regular general September readings that I did, the Ace of Pentacles was coming up for almost every single sign, Taurus. And you have it right here. To me, this perfectly describes the Uranus and Taurus energy. And it's really good for you, Tauruses, because it's kind of like a slow, steady energy of big opportunities that could be being presented to you. And I always say that this card is like a garden. It's a card of taking care of things that you are working on, building things up and really nurturing things into existence. So whatever you're working on, I feel like there's a lot of success for you. And I would just accept some, don't be afraid to accept big opportunities into your life is kind of what I'm getting here, even though it is a retrograde, right? Next, you have the Page of Swords. Of course, every single reading I've ever done since the beginning of time, right, has had something about someone spying or someone coming back from the past or someone watching you. Mercury retrograde, again, I would just be careful of anyone who's coming back from the past here or anyone who's trying to, kind of mess up your luck is what I'm getting here. Next, you have the Two of Cups. Definitely a lot of communication. With this Mercury retrograde, again, it is happening in Libra, an air sign, so it kind of makes sense to me that if there is communication coming in for you, it would have to do with like balancing things out or creating balance in a past situation. For some of you, I do feel this could be like a past friend, and not necessarily a lover. I'm just going to tell you what's popping into my head here, Taurus. I feel if you've had like a past friend who you no longer talk to, or, it's almost like they showed you their true colors here. And this is where I'm seeing this. You go this way up to this Nine of Swords. So some of you, I feel, either worked with this person or you worked with this person on a project or a business. And I do feel someone could be coming back maybe from like, 9 years ago, or it could be like 6 years ago. I feel it was a long time ago that maybe you haven't talked to this person. And if it's a friendship, I feel like they're coming back to kind of like clear the air, or something like that. It is popping into my head. So, it just could be like a healing type of situation. And we are entering, we're leaving Virgo season, but still, there could still be some of that energy, the healing type of energy. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords, feeling like you can't do something here. I do feel this like imposter syndrome energy, which I do get for you, only you, from time to time, Taurus. And I feel the Nine of Swords is saying, to release the imposter syndrome feeling. I'm just going to show you, you have the Nine of Swords twice in your reading. I'm going to show you the big version so you can actually see it, but he's got this safety blanket right here on him. It kind of says that he is protected no matter what. It's like he might be worried about something or worried about doing something, but he's kind of protected at the same time. And that's what I feel for you. I do feel the Nine of Swords is talking about protection. And it's also saying, like, sometimes I think we're afraid to go through something, then we go through it and we're perfectly fine. And I feel that could be happening for some of you. Not even a bad thing. I just think you could just feel like you're not capable of accomplishing something that you're perfectly capable of accomplishing here. With the Page of Swords, you have the King of Wands. Yeah, definitely time to be bold and assertive, as I say to everyone right now. Could be love coming in for you as well. Could be a fire sign. I would say if it's not a fire sign, it's a very bold, assertive person that's coming in for you. For some of you, I'd say if you dated a fire sign who's coming back, I would, obviously, put up some boundaries here. With the Two of Cups, here you go. You got the Page of Swords. Basically, the universe saying, I meant what I said whenever this happens. It's kind of repeating itself, the reading. So I feel for some of you that there could be like a past person who's trying to come back here. I would just be careful. Again, there could have been ego issues here with the Two of Cups, or, there could have just been some other issues just in general. As well. For, again, if this is a past friend, I feel like this person was kind of like their own worst enemy, and maybe they I get something about tanking a project, so again, if you were working with a person on a project, maybe they ruined it on purpose, not really on purpose, but just because they didn't think they could handle it, or they weren't capable, or, whatever. So it's kind of like their own insecurities are what brought something down. I do feel the same way about a past relationship, but again, I feel like you're mostly ready to move on if it's a relationship situation. Next, in the area of the full moon in Pisces, you have this dragonfly spirit, says better than you can imagine on it. So I love this card because I feel like something is much better than you imagine it could be. And the tiger spirit is kind of saying the same thing to me. I feel in a lot of ways that there could be opportunities for you to kind of read between the lines. I'm pretty sure that this card, in this deck, this is the Animal Apothecary deck. It's a new deck, and a shout out to Kara. Thank you for sending this, by the way. But this deck here is kind of about the fact that, like, the dragonfly, it starts out as a dragonfly nymph. It lives in the water, and then it comes out of the water, and it turns into a dragonfly. And dragonfly nymphs are, pretty scary looking if you've ever seen one. So it can kind of represent a situation in your life that maybe hasn't fully developed and is turning into something like a beautiful dragonfly, right? Something much better. So you have the Seven of Cups, the Moon, and the Four of Swords. Makes perfect sense. Is this good? Is this bad, right? You have the Seven of Cups here. Seven of Cups is all about your imagination. Again, this full moon in Pisces is going to be all about your imagination and things that you're imagining creating. We have Neptune in Pisces, which, again, to me is like manifestation on steroids. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to hold this, but I don't know. I can't do this job, right? Terrible. But what I'd say here is I feel like you need to focus on the good stuff, of course, with the Seven of Cups, but I do feel that you have a lot of opportunities. I also feel like it's kind of saying that if you read between the lines in all situations this month, that you're going to discover a lot of opportunities as well. Even in work and business, I think the time that we're in right now is really, really good for doing this, but I think the time we're in right now, it's like you could hear your boss saying that they're struggling with something, they need help with something, and you could go to them and you could be like, hey, I can do that. And maybe it gives you a raise or promotion or a new position. So I feel there's a lot of opportunity in the astrology for us to create our own opportunities. And I would be definitely looking for that here. Next, you have the Moon card. So definitely kind of some fears. And again, going through this period of darkness, again, just like the dragonfly nymph goes through, it's underwater and it's in the scary world and it looks kind of scary as well. So I feel for some of you that you're kind of coming out onto land. Look, the lobster here is coming out onto land, although lobsters don't belong on land. And that's the whole point of the Moon card, is that lobster represents your emotional armor. But I also feel for some of you, it could be that you feel like you're not capable of accomplishing something that you are perfectly capable of accomplishing. This reading to me is really talking about also kind of like believing in yourself. You have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is kind of recovering, resting, relaxing, recovering. I feel like some of you are kind of saying, this is my last shot or something like that. Or I don't know if those are the right words that are popping into my head here, but I feel like some of you are kind of saying this is my last chance or the last shot or, something. Let's look into this. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. Definitely time to let something go. I feel like something, especially in work or business, you've been like trying something. You've been trying to get something to work and maybe it's just not going how you expect it. I kind of get that feeling of more, not so much heartbreak, although, I think if we experience a lot of heartbreaks that it, does lead to, or if we experience some things in business or work, for example, not working out over and over and over again, it can lead to a heartbreak. I feel this is more of a disappointment energy. So, I would be careful of that. With the moon, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, just opening up to other ways of doing things and realizing, I feel like you need to realize that something in your life is going through a transformation. It could be you. You could be turning into the dragonfly, like I said. So, there's some sort of transformation going on here. With the Four of Swords, you have the Two of Cups. Two Cups again. Whenever we have a bunch of cards that are all kind of repeating themselves here, to me, it's the universe is saying I meant what I said. So I feel in a lot of ways that, partially you could be transforming. I'll show you on the big version again. The Two of Cups is like you and your higher self. So to me, it doesn't always necessarily represent love. It could just be you and your higher self, you communicating with your higher self. And it could also be you receiving guidance, usually in the form of communication. So this could be in dreams, daydreams, night dreams. It could be through repeating numbers and all those things. And again, it kind of makes sense with the, again, full moon in Pisces. There could be a spiritual side to things or a more kind of, you could be receiving messages in a more esoteric way, if that makes sense. And I kind of see that here. Next, for Libra season overall, starting on about the 22nd, you have this Fates card. So it could be a time of fate. Libra could be, karma or fated events happening. So I feel for some of you, there could be a lot of fated events happening. But I like this card. She has stars all over her. She's getting like a lot of attention or finding success. So I feel there could be a lot of good stuff coming in for you with this energy. And, I also feel like you could be getting a lot of attention as well with this energy. You have the Nine of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the King of Wands. King of Wands is definitely your solution to the reading. I feel just in general, it's saying be bold, be assertive, put yourself out there. I feel the more you think about things, Nine of Swords twice, right? I feel like the more you think about things, the less likely it is that you're going to do something that you want to do. I kind of get this need to, again, I'm not saying you're taking like ridiculous risk here, but I feel like there's a need to take a kind of like put yourself out there. Or, if you come up with an idea in your business, I would just do it. I would just put it into action, see what happens. That's what the King of Wands would do. He might be a little bit impulsive and he might make some mistakes, but, at the same time, as I always say, it's like, chocolate chip cookies were a mistake. Super glue was a mistake. I mean, the list goes on and on of, good things that were mistakes, right? So even if you make some mistakes, I feel the mistakes will be corrected. I also feel like mistakes are, of course, great for learning. And so, you could learn a lot. But I also feel maybe, again, I'm not saying that you should be impulsive, but I'm just saying if you have like an idea, you think, oh, I'm going to do a YouTube video, or I'm going to do this or that or the other thing. It's like maybe something isn't as well received as you want it to be, Nine of Swords, but I feel like it could lead to something better. Again, the dragonfly's transformation is kind of what this reading is talking about, I feel, really. And, going from something scary to something great. And I think it's only scary in the sense that maybe you have some fears about putting something out there into the world. Here's the other thing is, some of the things that you try are just going to work. Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success, good things coming in for you. It's a card of excellence and attention as well. So I feel there's a lot of good stuff coming in for you with this energy. Kind of reminds me of like Sarah Blakely. She's a Pisces actually, but she invented Spanx, and she talks about how she embarrasses herself every single day. And the reason she does is because then when you do that, it's like you truly train yourself to stop caring what people think. And I feel there's a lot of power in doing that. There's a lot of, just so much I think that can be created here. So I feel this is saying, what, so what if you embarrass yourself? It's like, people ask me all the time about being on YouTube and, they're like afraid of criticism. Like, well, first off, the internet, you're going to get tons of criticism. But on top of that, it's like a guaranteed that you're going to say something cringy. It's guaranteed that somebody's going to make fun of you. So it's like, if you can just get over the hump of that, it's like, I feel you'll be very successful in whatever it is you're doing. I'm not saying it's YouTube, but we're all freaking cringy, right? With the Nine of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is a card of growth. Power is the word. I literally almost just said the word power. I'm getting the word power on this. So I feel there could be a lot of growth and power in whatever it is that you're doing. So I like this. It is my card of, out with the old, in with the new. There's a castle that's crumbling here. Castles can kind of represent establishment, things that have been around for a long time, kind of like the kings in the tarot. So for some of you, there could be something that's old, established, and you're like kind of creating something new here. With the Six of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is thinking, again, juggling. Do I do this? Do I do that? I would get rid of that. I would look at, the Two of Pentacles sometimes reminds me to like transform life into play, to transform it into a time where you're enjoying yourself or you're playing and doing fun things or making things fun. And that's what I would focus on here. With the King of Wands, you have the World. The World is a card of accomplishments. Again, I feel like the one way for you to create a lot of accomplishments is to embrace that King of Wands energy. Just maybe being a little bit more impulsive. And again, I don't mean impulsive in like a bad way. I think that word gets a bad rap. I mean being impulsive in the sense that if you get a feeling, an intuition, an inspiration with the Ace of Wands or a desire with the Ace of Wands, I would just do it. And as long as it's not going to hurt you or someone else, I think it's perfectly acceptable to do it, whatever it is that you're thinking of doing here. Next, in the area of the new moon in Libra on the 25th, you have this tiger. Again, I get this in between the lines feeling on this tiger card. It is a card of kind of operating at night. It's also meant to represent the moon, and here you go, it's showing up in the area of the moon, and it's also meant to represent feminine energy, but I kind of feel this like reading in between the lines energy. I literally put the card down, and that's the first thing that popped into my head, is that they're in between the two things, there's something. In what area of your life, I have no clue, but it's kind of like I would just be listening. You even have the Judgment card. Sometimes I feel with the Judgment card that it can represent picking up on what is not being said in all situations of in your life. So it might be one of those good months to really kind of listen and also listen to the things that are not being said in your life. This is not a bad thing. Again, I think sometimes that we think, oh, that's a bad thing. That means people are hiding something. I don't think anything's hidden here. I just think there's a lot of opportunity. Tiger, hunting, looking for food, right? So I feel for a lot of you, there's just a lot of opportunity that could be in what's not being said. And this could be in any area of your life. And again, you might, I have a lot of things popping into my head for you, Taurus. Like you might be thinking about starting a YouTube channel or something. And maybe you come up with an idea that no one has ever done before, or a different angle for a YouTube video, or maybe you're writing a book, or whatever you're doing. It's like, it's almost as if it's the opposite of what other people have done, or maybe it's just something that other people have not talked about. And in doing that, I feel like you're creating something that, could truly be amazing. You have the Judgment card, the Wheel of Fortune. Clearly, it's going to change your life, and the Ten of Wands. I feel you're kind of putting too much pressure on yourself with this Ten of Wands. And you could be like overthinking with this energy. That's why I feel kind of that King of Wands, just going for something energy would be a little bit more beneficial for you, because I feel it would prevent you from overthinking too much and, kind of trying to make things perfect. I would be careful of perfection with this Ten of Wands, and especially I would be careful with perfection this month with this card, because I do feel there could be an energy of wanting things to be perfect when they, pretty much can't be. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel whatever you're working on at this time is going to change your life. For like no clickbait. I feel this is legitimately going to change your life. Of course, as I say to everyone, you have to do the work. If obviously if you don't do the work, then nothing's going to happen. It's not going to change your life. But this is like my second most powerful combination in the tarot right here, Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune, especially if they're touching in the reading. The other most powerful one, the most powerful to me, is Judgment and the Tower, but this is pretty darn close, I would say, to you. So, the Judgment card is you waking up to your purpose. The Wheel of Fortune is your destiny. It is your personal vision for your life, where you see your life going. And so a lot of you, I feel, could be waking up to something here. And I would also say that I am getting the message of listening. You can see he's got this horn here, and he's calling these people up out of their coffins. But, he's kind of being blocked by clouds. You can see the clouds here, so they might not be able to see him. Again, I feel there's something, it's not really hidden. I feel it just needs to be heard. Whatever this is, it could be like a big opportunity. You have two aces here, which is amazing. And they're showing up in the same position as well, this top row. So, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. I feel there could be a big opportunity where as long as you're listening, I feel like you'll see it. You're gonna capture it, And I feel it's gonna be really good for you. This is really nice. Things are moving in the right direction here. I like it. You cannot make this up. With the Judgment card, you have the Tower. I knew something was going to happen here. Like I said, definitely the most powerful combination. To me, it's a major wake-up call, a major revelation when you get these two cards together. I actually consider it to be positive, even though it's a Tower, when you get those two cards together. Because to me, it is just like major enlightenment, some sort of epiphany moment happening in your life. And again, I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but I really feel there could be a major epiphany. I would make sure to pay attention to it. Probably going to shake up your worldview with the Tower. But again, to me, that's like a sign of the times. Neptune and Pisces, which we have until 2025. I feel there could be epiphany moments for a lot of people, but it seems like you could be getting one right now. Usually the epiphanies we get with Neptune and Pisces, though, it's like if you were raised to believe the sky was blue and the grass was green, but you actually find out it's the opposite, that would shock you, right? So I feel for some of you, you could be having a total kind of change in your worldview here, but like I said, these are usually good things with Neptune and Pisces. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Devil. I would definitely be careful of a past person here. I would just be careful of past energy here with this Devil energy. I would also say that, again, the Devil sometimes to me represents your baser instincts, kind of like your root chakra. These people are meant to look like animals. They're meant to look like they have horns on their head, because they do. But sometimes I feel with this energy, we need to take things from that root energy and bring it up to our head and also maybe our heart, where we take action and we put things out into the world. And I kind of feel that here. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Four Cups. Yeah, Four Cups. Everybody's been getting the Four Cups. It doesn't even want to focus here. So the Four Cups is sometimes a card of disappointments, right? And it's also a card of kind of contemplation and apathy. I really feel it's saying, start taking action here. I think that maybe one of the challenges here is like seeing that you have a lot of work to do on whatever it is that you're creating and trying to organize it, but feeling like you don't have enough time. I really feel like baby steps would be very beneficial for you in this reading. Just, be kind to yourself, take those little steps that you take to improve things in your life, and I feel you'll be fine. We're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards here, Taurus. These are really yes, no, maybe. Again, to me, tarot doesn't control your life, and I just do this for fun, so that's why we're doing it. But 1, 2, and 3, like I said, you can change a yes into a no into a yes, right? For question number 1, you have the Page of Swords. I would actually say yes. I feel like you're gaining clarity, which we kind of talked about with that Judgment card, right? So definitely gaining clarity at this time. For question number 2, I would say yes as well if you take action. So I feel like something needs to be taken action on with this Emperor energy. And I feel there's like a lot of creative opportunity. I'm almost getting like second life popping into my head. Those are the words that I'm getting for you on whatever question you're asking. So there could be like a rebirth or a second chance on whatever you're asking about. For question number 3, I would say yes, World. So definitely yes, definitely an accomplishment. You have the World twice here. The other thing I would say, by the way, is that for some of you, there could be a move coming in for you quite surprisingly with the Judgment, Tower, World showing up in your reading. And the Wheel of Fortune. To me, this is saying that there is a big change, a new beginning coming in for you with that Ace of Wands. So I'd say if you're moving, or maybe I actually feel some of you don't know that you're moving yet. I feel like you will find out after this month, sometime in the last quarter of this year is what's popping into my head. And I feel like it'll be probably life-changing in a good way. Feels really good to me. A lot of growth, a lot of good things coming in here. Pretty crazy reading. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.